Okay, this story is a little bit of a different flavor, and I'm going to share this story with everybody because I think it might help a few people possibly. It'll probably help a few people for certain, and it may answer a few questions that might be causing some people some anxiety when it comes to human death, meaning their own death. Now, this happened to me 2 years ago, and I nearly died. So one thing I like to do in life is I like to conquer my fears, as do many other people, and I want to knock off as many goals as I can. And I try to do things that on average, your average person probably won't do in this lifetime, but I don't like doing what everybody does. You know, if I got spare time or holiday, you know, being a Canadian, most Canadians go to Cuba or they go to Cabo or Puerto Vallarta and they get absolutely shit hammered because the booze is cheap, and it's just not my flavor deal. It seems like a bit of a waste of frickin' time, doesn't it? I want to go around the planet and dive into the unknown and take a look at the real shit that's going on out there, and that's what I like. A couple years ago, I think about 7 years ago was the first time I was trying to knock off a goal. And that goal was I wanted to leave to the west from home, and I wanted to come home from the east solo, whatever, a few months later, with no set out plan and not knowing where I was going to go. Just a backpack, a couple pairs of shorts, some flip-flops, some running shoes, and my laptop, and go hit it. The first time I did it was kind of scary, right? I mean, you know, I haven't done anything like that before. You know, there's a different fright than grizzly bears and all other stuff that I've done for years, but to go off into foreign lands and foreign countries all by yourself and not know where you're going and nobody knows where you are and just give her and survive and take it all in and see it, it's quite the incredible experience. And I definitely urge everybody to try that in this lifetime if you can, because it is really, very cool. But anyway, first time I tried it, I made it exactly halfway around the world, and I found frickin' paradise, and I didn't leave, and ended up coming home from the west back home, which was not my goal that I was set out for me. So, and then 2 winters ago, I decided I was going to do it again, and off I went. I don't even remember the date that I went. I think it was just after Christmas. And what I like to do is, a good thing for me that I like is I go to Southeast Asia, and I go to an island. I actually go to a place called Koh Samui, and there's a bunch of Muay Thai gyms there, and a real healthy subculture there. My goal is to go there, get nuzzled in, join the gym, hit the gym like a fiend. All you do is you swim, you walk, you work out, you eat fresh fish and fresh vegetables every day, and you just start feeling absolutely kick-ass, and it's really cool. And I want to spend a month doing that, and then jump in a plane and continue going west. I flew, you know, when you travel over there, depending on what flight you get and what connections, it can take anywhere from 18 hours to 30 some odd hours. And I believe this one particular year I went 2 winters ago, I flew 32 hours or something. But by the time you get there, you're just cooked. So I flew into Bangkok, and I got a hotel room, and I wanted to spend one night there before I jumped to the airport again, just get defrazzled. And I went downtown and I went shopping for the afternoon. I grabbed a couple t-shirts, some shorts, and ate some real good food, and went back to my room. Got up in the morning, jumped in a plane, headed south down to the islands. Same thing, got a great place to stay with a rooftop pool, and rented a motorcycle, so I had a vehicle for every day. I went and joined the gym, paid my membership, and off I go. You know, life is good. Swimming every day, living absolutely uber healthy. You know, I think I had 2 beers with some Norwegians, actually, that I bumped into on Norwegian. And I had 2 beers the very night I got to Koh Samui, because it was absolutely barfing rain. And the place that I had booked was absolutely nasty. And I was a little distraught and pissed off. And I went and had a couple of beers. And then I found a wicked place the very next day. And that was it. So why I mentioned 2 beers is you're not doing anything unhealthy, like no alcohol. I had 2 beers, that's it. Hitting the gym. And probably about, So here I am, I'm in paradise, living the dream. Everything's going absolutely awesome. There's mosquitoes everywhere right now, by the way, and I'm not even gonna attempt not to wipe them away. I had no bug dope, and there's frickin' mosquitoes everywhere. But anyway, I think about 4 days into it, 4 days into it, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 days into it, I got back to my room and I started feeling really achy. You know, my body started feeling real achy, and I started feeling like really, really creepy and uncomfortable, and I started sweating, and I couldn't fall asleep, and all of a sudden, you know, you're thinking, oh shit, really? I picked up a bug, I'm getting the flu, give me a break, you gotta be kidding me. You know, it was like, no way, man. So sure enough, I was getting really sick and really, really fast. And then I'm laying there. I recall the very first night I was getting really, really, like really going downhill fast. I started sweating, like I was sweating buckets, just absolutely pouring buckets of sweat out. I'm rolling around like a log, back and forth, rolling back and forth, rolling back and forth, and I'm in absolute freaking pain and agony. I'm laying in my bed, and it was about, I think on the 4th day, I was in the South Islands. So I think I was around 5 days into my trip so far. And I've been hitting the gym every day, eating frickin' healthy, swimming every day, and building up my health. All of a sudden, I started feeling really sick, and I started like getting really, my body was starting to ache, and I was sweating like crazy, and I couldn't sleep, and I'm rolling around like a frickin' log. It was getting rapidly worse, and the pain, it was the pain that was starting to become very alarming. The pain was something I hadn't experienced before, and it was really, really intense, and it was, my entire body was in pain. It was pretty brutal, and I didn't sleep at all that night, and I got up in the morning, kind of stumbled downstairs to get some breakfast, and I was making friends with the staff at the place I was staying there, and I mentioned to them I was feeling pretty bad, and they were going to keep tabs on me, make sure it was all right, and I was just trying to stay up, trying to stay on top of liquids, and I went back upstairs. And I laid there, and I was literally pouring sweat out of every frickin' pore nonstop. The bed was frickin' soaked, and I just could not find any comfort at all. The pain was the most uncomfortable part, and no sleep. But the pain was incredible. So I'm rolling around, and I think I made it like 2 days. I made it for about 2 days of that on my own in the hotel before, a typical guy. I think I lasted about 2.5 days of that before I finally figured, okay, this isn't, a bug. This isn't just a flu bug or something. I got to go to the doctor. And I've got insurance, obviously, before I left. I jumped from a motorbike, and I barely made it down to this hospital. And I go in there, and I'm in the waiting room. They come out and see me and talk to me and look at me. And now take note, it was a real abnormal rainy season for there. So the timing that I went there is supposed to be the nice, hot, dry time, but it was nonstop barfing rain. There's water absolutely everywhere. Just peeing tropical rain nonstop. Okay, take note of that. So I am sitting there thinking I'm dying. I didn't think I was dying, but I was feeling pretty damn bad. The doctor comes up to me, takes me in the room. Well, he took blood from me, and then I got to go out and sit in the waiting room again. And they called me back into the room, just me and the doctor and nurse. He looks at me and he says to me, "You cannot leave. You cannot leave. You have to stay here. You might die." Like, what are you talking about? Are you serious? He says, yes, you might die. You have dengue hemorrhagic fever. It's very bad. You might die. Many people dying right now. You may die. And I've never even heard of this damn thing. Oh, I know, and all you people are going to go, you should have looked into it, you should have done your homework, you're sure responsible. Whatever, jam it up your butt. It's my ride, not yours. Listen up. Like, it was such a weird feeling to have a doctor. You're in a third world country, basically. You're alone, and you have a doctor looking at you and telling you you might die. You're dying. It's like, what are you talking about? And then immediately he starts going, you do not brush your teeth. Do not bump into anything. You cannot bump into anything. Don't fall down. You bleed. You will bleed to death. And I don't even know what he's talking about. I'm like, what are you talking? Are you serious? Like, what do you mean? I'm not going to bleed. What are you talking about? He says, no, you stay here. Do not do nothing to bleed. You cannot bleed, okay? Do not bleed. I'm taking all this in less than 3 minutes, and I'm kind of freaked out. He let me go back out in the general waiting area again, and they're going to go find me a room because I'm not leaving. It was really weird. I had a bit of a conversation with him, and he kept on asking me, he says, when mosquito bite you? When you get bit by mosquito? And I'm like, mosquito? I don't know. A mosquito? What are you talking about? I haven't a clue. I don't know. I don't recall getting bit by a mosquito. And he goes, you have to figure out when you get bit by a mosquito. It's very important. We need to know when you get bit by a mosquito. Don't know, man. Sorry, I haven't a freaking clue. And, I was starting to feel a little pretty concerned. And I was I had a couple moments there as I was starting to feel really insecure and a little upset, and I was actually I had my phone in there on the Wi-Fi, and I was messaging my blood brother Mike McKinstry from Victoria. He was keeping me company on the messenger, and my other childhood friend Debbie Cooper and a few others. And I was a little upset then for a little bit. Then they wheeled me off to my room, and actually I was videotaping everything on my phone. You know me, still going to keep videotaping right to the end, and videotaping, then wheeling me down the hallway. You can see here, actually, I pulled this off my iPhone, and in the room I go. I got this little room, and I got a IV bag jammed to my arm. The wheels are rusted, so I got to bunny hop the thing every frickin' 20 minutes to go pee, because the wheels are rusted up and it wouldn't roll. And they had the IV drip set really high, it felt like anyway. On the wall of my room was a vine of insects. There's an insect hatch going on in my room up one wall, and the roof was leaking. The ceiling was leaking water, and I'm lying there with Thai TV on, and I'm laying there dying alone. It was such a bizarre experience. So this is what happened. So it was confusing for me for quite a while, but ultimately this is what goes down. It was a high rainy season. It caused a lot of mosquitoes to blow up and boom, and it caused an outbreak of dengue hemorrhagic fever. Now what this virus does is transmitted through mosquitoes, and the second that little sucker bites you, you got it. Okay? And then you have around 5 days, I think it was, 5 days or even a week, for the virus to incubate in your system, and then your symptoms show up. And as soon as your symptoms show up, you have 7 days. You're either going to live or you're going to die in those 7 days, and that's all there is to it, and there's nothing they can do about it. Nothing. You know what I was saying to the doctor? I go, well, what do you mean I might die? Like, there's nothing you can do? And he's like, no, nothing. And I'm like, what? You got to think about this. So I got a doctor who's speaking broken English, and he's telling me that I am dying, I'm possibly going to die, and there's nothing he can do for me. That was definitely a weird experience in itself right there, having a doctor telling you're dying, and there's nothing he can do about it. And he would not stop asking me about the mosquito bite. When you get bit by a mosquito, we have to know. We must know when you get bit by a mosquito. I'm like, shit, I don't even remember getting bit by a mosquito. I haven't a freaking clue. So I'm lying there, and obviously the symptoms had kicked in a few days earlier, and it just gets more extreme and more extreme as your body's breaking down, you're breaking down, you're going downhill big time. And like my skin, my feet were swelling up. My feet wouldn't even go in my flip-flops anymore. I remember I was starting to get purple spots and shit on my legs. The pain was unbelievable. The pain was I've had my jaw tore completely in half on both sides here. I broke my ankle. I've broken various bones, and nothing compared to this pain. I would have taken that brand new broken jaw again over top of this pain in a second. It was unbelievable. And it wasn't going away. And they didn't give me any heavy-duty painkillers. They were giving me, it was all pills. A little plastic tube per packet. Here you go, here's my painkiller. You know, and I'd take this thing, and who even knows what it was. It wasn't doing shit. So how the virus kills you is, as soon as your symptoms kick in, your white blood cell count, goes boom, just starts plummets. And they told me that normally we run around 150, 155, and they told me that as soon as you hit around 30, your organs go into shock and you die. And that's how it goes. So, but if you make it those 7 days and you don't die, it turns around and your blood count starts screaming back up to healthy level again. So what they do is they keep tabs on you. They take your blood. I don't remember. I was so freaking out of it from the virus, not the drugs. I was so out of it from the virus, I don't quite recall how often they checked my blood. If it was once or twice through the night and through the day, I don't recall, but all I do recall is them give me the countdown. Because it kind of sucks. I mean, they're not the most emotional, comforting people over there at best of times, but to be laying there in that room all alone with the insect hatch, the leaky ceiling, the rusty wheels on your IV bag, and all they're doing is they're coming in, they take your blood, they come back out, and they tell you the number, they ask you when the mosquito bit you, and they leave again. That was one part about dying that I wouldn't want to relive again. If I'm gonna go, I don't want to have a countdown like that. That kind of sucked. And I was almost starting to get angry at him. I'm like, you know what, just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Why are you coming here? Give me the bloody countdown. Just get out of here. I had various friends around the world, good friends who were texting me and wanted to come out and get me. And I told everybody, you know, it was comforting to have that, but in reality, by the time any of my friends managed to get to me, even if they did come out to get me, I'm either going to be dead or I'm going to be alive. So, and then they're going to run back home with either me in a box or sitting beside me. So why even bother? Just stay home. You know, if I die, I die. If I don't, I don't. Just don't. It doesn't make sense for any to come racing out to me right now. So they'd come in, take my blood. Oh, you're down to 97. I remember sometime one time I'm down to 97. When you get bit by a mosquito, I'm like, shit, I don't know, man. And they come back in my room. You're down to 60. I'm like, whatever. You know, I've already made my peace. I don't know. I was, during the ride of my blood platelets dropping, I wasn't fully convinced I was dead. I was going to die through most of it until I got to the last 2 days, I guess, because then the doctor comes in, he took my blood, and I was down to 47. And he goes, you'll probably be dead in 2 days. And I'm like, really? Really? He's like, yes. So I'm really, really, truly, I'm going to be dead in 2 days. Yes, if this keep going like this, you'll probably be dead in 2 days. I'm like, I don't know, man. Just leave me alone. Let's get out of here. Because what they do is, I guess once you hit rock bottom, as a last minute Hail Mary, they throw a blood transfusion into you. And you're also not too big on that one. Third world country, either having a blood transfusion, but if you're going to die, you're going to die. Might as well do it. So that's why they're trying to figure it out. Like they have to try to figure out when to jam this blood in you and save your ass, or try to save your ass. And is it the 7th day where your platelets get to rock bottom or not? Or are you going to go another notch deeper and go into cardiac arrest or not? So I'm laying there, and then after he left the room that time, and he told me I had 2 days left, I'm gonna be dead in 2 days. And then I accepted it. I'm like, wow, holy shit, I'm dead. You know, and this is the part that I wanted to share with all of you. Is once I was 100% convinced in my mind that this is it. I am dead. I'm not leaving this room, and I'm going to die in this room right here. This is the end of it. And, you know, I look back, I'm like, what? I'm not going to get killed by a grizzly bear. All those bush plane flights, getting bucked off in the side of frickin' mountains on my horses and stuff, and boat rides, and fog, and ships, and oceans, and storms, and falling in rivers. And a stupid mosquito is going to kill me, and I'm going to lay in this stinking frickin' third world hospital room by myself and get a countdown to my death. After eluding death all those other numerous times all my life, this is how I'm going? And I'm just like, really? A mosquito? God, you're kidding me. Damn. You know, I'm like, shit. What a shitty way to go. But whatever. But you know what? The part that I want to share with all you the most is I honestly did not feel for 1 second that this was it. And I honestly didn't feel for 1 second that it was a bad thing. And I wasn't crying my eyes out, crying for my mommy. I wasn't begging God to give me another chance. You know, teach their own, but I mean, I have done every single thing I wanted to do in this lifetime, and everything I wanted to be good at, I got good at it. And I wanted to live this lifetime without anybody telling me what to do, and I've managed to do that since I was about 25 years old, I think. I've done everything that I wanted to do. I'm like, man, I can't complain about shit, but I had a good, frickin' solid, fun run. And, yep, I guess if this is it, then this is it. And it's going to sound a little bizarre, but honestly, I was getting a little bit excited because I was laying there looking at the ceiling. I remember thinking this, man, I'm dying. This is going to be a crazy ride. Like, this is going to be absolutely the craziest frickin' experience of all of them. I'm dying. This is it. Wow, I wonder where I'm going. I wonder what it's going to be like. Like, seriously, I wonder where I'm going. And I wonder who it is that's been taking care of me all this time, because I know somebody's been taking care of me all this time, without a doubt. I can't wait to find out who that is. And my brain started totally rocking out on it, and my brain was moving on to the next chapter and anticipating it, and I was actually getting stoked about it. I'm like, wow, this is going to be crazy, man. Like, dying is going to be absolutely wild. And, and that is the honest truth of the thoughts that were coming into my mind at those last moments, presumably, of my lifetime. And that is what I wanted to share with any of you out there that might be curious about that, or scared of death, or maybe you've had somebody die recently, or somebody is dying around you currently, is, I can say with 100% confidence, for me, this lifetime isn't it. We're going to keep going, and we're going somewhere, and it's going to be pretty freaking cool. And that is all there is to it. So yeah, I'm not scared of it now. I'm not scared I wasn't scared of dying earlier, but now I'm like, I'm going to live this lifetime out to the max now that I'm here again. But when it's time to go, it's just going to be another adventure. There isn't a question in my mind. It isn't just another adventure. So anyway, carrying on with the story, I had various friends wanting to come and get me. A buddy of mine in Alabama, I knew some business guy in China who's going to send a private jet for me, and all sorts of goofy things. And it just didn't make sense, because I'm going to be dead, or I'm going to be alive. That's all there is to it. Somebody coming to get me wasn't going to help. So I'm laying there, and I remember they came in, and I do recall the lowest number he told me was 36. Pretty sure it was 47, and then went to 36. And I'm laying there looking at that ceiling. And it's one of those old, particle board with the black dots on white tiles, stained by water here, stained by water there. I can vividly remember looking up and trying to count the dots in each tile. When I had 1 day or 2 days, when he told me I was going to be dead in 2 days, though, take note. Now, I'm not much of a religious person as religions go, but I do know for a fact the power of prayer is very, very real and very, very strong, and it does work. And I messaged and emailed every single person who I knew truly believed in the power of prayer, and I messaged them all. And I said, well, if you got some spare moments to be able to throw out a prayer for me, maybe tonight or something or tomorrow, because I just got word I'm out of here in less than 48 hours. I'm going to be dead. So, and there's nothing they can do about it. So if everybody can maybe chuck out a prayer for me for a last Hail Mary and see if that might do it, I'd appreciate that. And I do recall I had people praying for me in northern BC. There's a dozen people praying for me in northern BC that I know for a fact. There's 3 or 4 churches in northern Alberta, northeastern Alberta praying for me. And I had, 20 or 30 people praying for me in Alabama and Mississippi, and that I know for a fact. And a few churches down there. And I'll never forget it. I'm laying there. Imagine what I look like. I mean, I've lost a pile of weight. I got purple. I look purpley, pale, gray, swollen up, sweat stuck. Just, I'm dying. I'm looking like I'm dead. And also the doctor comes in, takes my blood, and he goes, oh, you're back up to 40. You're going to live. And I'm like, what? Say that again. What'd you say? I'm not gonna die? He's like, no, your blood come back up. You'll not go any lower. You're going to live. And then he turned around and walked out and left me laying there. I'm like, wow, game on. And then he told me I was gonna live. And that was a little bit of a different experience. And you know what? It wasn't a big, huge, whew. It wasn't a big relief I didn't have that feeling when he told me I was going to live. It was kind of like, it was actually just a matter of fact of, oh shit, okay, I guess I'm not dying. Game on, rock on, here we go again. Crazy. Because I was so ready to go, and I was more interested in what it was going to be like dying and where I was going and that adventure coming up. And And I think I might have been almost anticipating, like, wow, this is going to be freaking crazy, man. It's going to be wild. And then he came in and told me I was gonna live. So then I think I managed to stay in there another day or another two until I finally told the woman, said, I got to get out of here. I'm getting out of here. Get this shit out of my arm. Now I'm getting out of here. Period. And the doctor was away for the weekend or something, and she said, no, we cannot. And I go, yeah, you can. I'm going to tear it out. I'm going to tear everything out. You got to get the stuff out of me. So they took all my stuff out, and I went back. My rental motorbike was still out there, and I went and jumped in that sucker. And I went back to my room. And you know what? I was barely moving. Like, I was barely I was walking like I was a 95-year-old man that could barely walk. I remember stepping down from a sidewalk down curb height onto the road, and I would have to go like just, I could barely, I was so weak, it was unfreaking believable. You know, normally I'm like 205, 210, working out like an idiot, running around up in the mountains for 4 months straight. I'm feeling freaking stronger than shit, kick ass, and then all of a sudden I'm just this frail, feeble, and barely move shell of a being. And I was so out of it, and so out of my head, I couldn't even concentrate on figuring out how I could buy a plane ticket online. I just couldn't do it. And I went to a Starbucks, and it had a sealed door because you're terrified. You're absolutely terrified of mosquitoes, because he did say if you do get it again, that's basically it. So now I'm outside again where these mosquitoes are, and I went to this coffee shop with a sealed doors, and I'm just sitting there with coffee, and I can hear people talking at a table beside me. I go, hey, and they're speaking English. I go, hey, how long you guys been here? And there's like 6 people, and they go, oh, we just got here 2 days ago. I go, yeah? Never heard of dengue hemorrhagic fever? And they're like, well, guess what? And I filled them in, like, go get some frickin' bug spray and get it now. And you know, you can Google it up. It was the winter of 2017, and I believe 250 people had died that month just in the 2 zones I was in, around Bangkok and Koh Samui. 250 people died from the exact same thing that I had. And did anybody say anything on the airplane before we get off in the airport at BKK? Nope. You know, was there a sign in every hotel saying there's a rainy, was there a sign in every hotel room door saying there's an abnormal rainy season and dengue hemorrhagics just broke out, just killing people like crazy? Nope. Nobody was saying nothing. So nobody was saying nothing, so I started passing that information on as fast as I could to try to help other people before they got it. And then my friend, I think my buddy, bought my ticket, returned, he got a ticket for me. And I don't remember going to the airport in Bangkok. I do not remember landing in Seoul. And I do not remember, I kind of remember being at YVR in Vancouver, sort of. And my buddy's son picked me up, and they took me home to Squamish and threw me in their spare room. And I slept, I think, for 48 hours or something. And they woke me up on the 48th hour in the evening at 7 o'clock because they thought I might be really sick. And I remember when they woke me up, I thought it was the morning. He goes, breakfast? He goes, dude, you've been asleep for 2 days straight. I'm like, oh my God, no way. And then, and I had gone, I was in between living arrangements, and I'd given my place up in Whistler, and because I wasn't coming back for 3 or 4 months. That's what I was doing. I was going to go around the planet for 3 or 4 months, come back, and hit the island to go guiding on the ocean for a couple months and carry on my usual routine, right? And then I rented a furnished place in Squamish, and I think a month after I was back, this is how bad it was, what it did to me. 1 month after I was back, I got on the treadmill in the gym, and I started walking, and I almost fell over at higher walk speed. I almost fell over after about 4 minutes walking on a treadmill. Oh my God. That was a real shitty rehab. It really sucked. I really handed out to those people who get busted up and broken and build themselves back. It takes a lot of stamina and determination to do that for people that were a lot worse off than I was. So there you go. That is my story about almost dying alone in a third world country, and what it is like to think you are dying, and what it actually feels like in your mind and the thoughts that you get when you are 100% convinced that you are going to be dead in, around 24 hours. So just so you know, it's not that bad of a thing, okay? If you get to die that way, unlike getting burnt up in a car wreck or shot or whatever. But I'm just saying to all you people who might be curious about death is obviously I didn't die and I can't tell you for sure, but I can tell you with confidence that I am quite certain that this lifetime, this isn't it. We're going somewhere else. We're going to another party. There isn't a question in my mind about it, and it's going to be something else. So there you go. So the summary of my big story is, I strongly suggest to any of you before you go anywhere warm, tropical, is to look up how their malaria is doing and how their dengue fever is doing. Okay, it's either, you can call it dengue hemorrhagic. That's what it's referred to, and it is a very, very, very deadly virus. And take note, mosquitoes kill over 1 million people a year on average on the planet today, every year. Mosquitoes kill more human beings a year than anything else on this planet. All right? So there you go. That is my message and story to you. If you're not so into traveling abroad to tropical crazy places, you can always go somewhere safe like Bird Island, Minnesota or something. Who knows?